Hi, I'm John Silustri, contributing editor to GlobeStreet.com, and we're here at the SIOR live stage, powered by GlobeStreet.com. We're here at the SIOR convention, and I'd like to introduce our guest, Beth Campbell, Managing Director for the local office, Las Vegas office of Gensler. Beth, welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Tell me about the Gensler workplace study, what the methodology is, and we could talk then a little bit about some of the results that you're finding.
Absolutely. It's a stimulating research project that we started in 2005. And what we do is we have a series of questionnaires that we send out via the website to our clients and our partners as we're working on projects. And then we bring the information back in. And so we do that annually. And we are now up to 111,000 results, survey results that are in, and we've garnered that information to come up with some fantastic findings that help us drive stronger solutions for our clients.
And that is to all of your clients straight across the board?
Yeah, we offer it to all of our clients. Some clients aren't particularly fond of doing surveys, which is fine. It has to do with their culture. So not every client will participate in the survey, but most do.
But the result is that you'll have a cross-section of older, less technologically oriented firms,
Absolutely.
more oak offices,
Absolutely.
and the open workspaces as well.
That's true. That's true. What's fantastic is we seem to be getting a broad brush of responses, and it is. It's from the seedling companies up to the more mature companies, as well as different segments and work sectors, meaning anything from a law firm to a technology company.
And we've talked a number of times about the results of the survey. Talk about the major takeaways, if you would. I know that there were three primary points that you figure are the keys
Absolutely.
to where the office is going. Talk a little bit about, let's say, number one, that workers are struggling actually to work more efficiently.
Yeah, and so in this struggle to work effectively, what we're finding is that it's the focus time is compromised because it's natural and inherent for any segment or industry is to work in different settings. You're either focused or you're collaborating or you're learning or you're socializing. And so what it is that we found recently is that there's a lot of focus on getting that balance between the collaboration zones and the focus zones.
And that brings us to point number two. How do you achieve that balance?
Well, it depends. It's definitely a one size does not fit all. You need to know your clients, you need to work with them, and it depends on their work segment and sector. We're finding it isn't so much about age, it's more about behavior and what people want to do. So what we want to do, and the goal is working with our clients as partners to find a solution that's correct for them and their culture and their environment, but then we find that balance between the focus and the collaboration zones and the socializing zones. Some companies are more heavily focused on socializing, but the reality is it's about the human behavior and how people want to perform, and even introverts want to be connected and want to be included, and
right.
So it's working individually with each company to find the solution.
You surprised me because you said, pardon me, it wasn't so much about age, but
right.
Since I know a couple of baby boomers who are very close to me, the touchstones of private office as a symbol of achievement are going away. Those touchstones don't exist
right.
with the Gen Y.
Absolutely.
So isn't there, in fact, a separation that's ageist, for lack of a better?
There really is, but it's interesting to watch the paradigm, if you will, shift over to even the baby boomers, and they are getting in touch with how these serendipitous meetings occur and how being out and part of the workspace adds so much value, and you create an environment for curiosity and innovation. So yeah, and there definitely still are segments and sectors such as law firms that really prefer to have the private offices and confidentiality, et cetera, and that's fine. You have to respect that. You work within their paradigm, and that's what you design to. Whereas technology companies, it doesn't matter your age group. You want to be out and collaborating and having conversations.
So we've talked about that balance between collaboration and focus. Then speak to me about the third point, the third major takeaway of the survey, and how choice drives both performance and innovation.
Yeah, what we're really finding, and this is globally and holistically true, is that individuals want a choice. They want that freedom of choice, how they're going to work, when they're going to work. You know, for some people, they like heads down all day long and then the hour meeting here or there. Other people like to bounce from place to place, but it's about the flexibility with the technology that you build into the space and to the workstation styles that you create that allow flexibility for different uses. But it's about having that choice. Mm-hmm. And when people have that choice, we're finding the performance and productivity is going up.
The size of the workstation is going down.
That's correct.
The presence of collaborative, happy accident spaces is going up. Speak to me a little bit about that dynamic and how it's changing the office environment.
Yes.
And then let's speak a little bit about the need that people are recognizing that they really need to be in an office a little bit more.
Absolutely.
And what that means both in terms of the human need and the corporate need. So it's basically a two-part question.
Yeah.
So the first part is actually that dynamic between private space and collaborative space.
Yeah, and you're talking about the corporate need and the private need. They're so tightly linked, but I'll answer both questions. To start with, I mean, it's taking a look at we're about 170 square foot per person right now, seems to be the norm. And there are definitely companies that are going down closer like to 90 square foot per person, which we're finding is a little too much, right? A little too tight. And it makes sense, right? They do it for all the right reasons. A lot of corporations are doing it because they're conscious of their operating expenses. So what they want to do is the most successful projects we found recently is a blending between that operating expense with HR and IT. So you get the blend of technology and the human capacity, as well as keeping the real estate solution strong. So it limits the amount of enclosed space, but it's that balance here again between having that choice to go into a phone room or into a private room for a conversation that needs to be, behind closed doors.
And also the choice to work off-site.
Yes.
As is necessary, and as is now more possible than ever.
Absolutely. I think telecommuting is a word that gets used all the time, and it's a wonderful philosophy, but to us at Gensler, that's just one subset of the larger spectrum of freedom of choice. Whether you work at home, but you could also work at your local coffee shop, or you could be in the lobby of a hotel. You could, there's places where you can always work, at airports, etc. So it's more about having choices. And then corporately, you need to have the right technology that will allow and will foster this behavior that will allow people to go from different places and still be productive.
Who is your ideal space team? You had mentioned this morning in the presentation, which was great, by the way, that ideally you need to have your human resources people there.
Yes. Yeah, excellent point. We, like I said, one of the most successful solutions that I've had a chance to encounter was a global rollout for a technology company in San Francisco, and it was wonderful because we had in the room at the table with us the head of HR, the head of design and construction, the head of technology, as well as the head of their brand group. And so we were able to merge all of these pieces because the end result is about the people, the participants that use the space on a daily basis. It's not about, how pretty the carpet is or how nice it's about creating an environment that people want to go to, participate in, and are allowed to be curious in.
That's a great way to end it, and I want to thank you for your time.
Great, thank you, John.
And I want to thank you for joining us at SIOR Live.